In this clip, we are going to see Democratic strategist Mike Nellis absolutely dog walk a Newsnation host who's just an extension of Maga and an extension of Donald Trump's speaking points. As usual, let's watch the clip in full. I'm going to hold my thoughts, my commentary, and my perspective towards the end. But make sure if you get value, give this video a hype up, give it a thumbs up. Let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight in.
Here to defend, Mike Nellis, former senior advisor Kamala Harris' campaign, author of Endless Urgency on Substack. Clearly, I subscribe. Everyone else should as well. Mike, I want to be clear before I just absolutely throttle you. Were you saying that sort of in a esoteric third-person sense that that's what the Democratic base will do, or that's what you believe?
Look, I do not think that any member of Congress should vote to fund this war. This is an illegal war. Donald Trump has not brought it in front of Congress, gotten authorization for it. I think it's created a ton of chaos. I think it's gotten people killed. I think it's bad for the United States. I think it's bad for Iran, too, for that matter.
So it's better to make America
I don't think you should vote for it. It's not about making America lose. It's about making sure that we do this the right way. If this is a just war, Leland, there should be no problem with Donald Trump bringing it in front of Congress.
Well, so you think a Democrat should vote for it then?
Well, where's my war powers resolution? That's what I'd like to see. Let's start there.
No, but what I'm saying, we're in the war right now. So really, you think it's a good political position to not support the troops when they're overseas and in harm's way?
Well, I'm where the vast majority of Americans are because people don't understand what we're doing in Iran. People don't support this. 65% of Americans, according to a CNN poll, don't understand what we're doing and aren't behind this. There's a lot of other polling that backs that up. You're in the minority here, Leland.
Well, I may be in the minority, but at least I'm in the minority that is bigger than the smaller minority. Washington Post poll, March 6th through 9th. Support versus oppose the war. March 1st, 39% support, 52% oppose. Those numbers have now switched now, 42% support, 40% oppose. I'm not good at math, I'm in TV, but that seems to be that more people support than oppose.
I mean, I think the numbers are going to bounce around, but again, those are spectacularly low numbers for this type of military conflict. It doesn't tend to get more popular over time.
Maybe that's because Democrats keep sitting around talking about it's an illegal war and not the fact that the Iranians are slaughtering people and chanting death to America.
Well, where was the United States government and the Trump administration when they were slaughtering people months ago? If they had actually taken action then, I'd maybe have more sympathy for that argument. Well, they didn't move to save those people that they killed. Well, they waited until they got dog walked into it by Israel, Leland.
No, it didn't have anything to do with Israel. It had to do with the fact that
ask Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio said that's the reason they got involved.
Let me ask this question though. You're a political guy. Okay, we've seen the lines of TSA because TSA workers aren't showing up. I have a lot of sympathy for TSA workers who aren't showing up because they got to go drive DoorDash to feed their families, okay?
I do too.
The more important question is this. What happens when the Democrats vote not to fund the troops? So you're going to now have pilots and guys on aircraft carriers and people working the base at Al Udeid who are worried about whether their wives can buy groceries for their toddlers. You think those stories are going to be good for Democrats?
I'm sympathetic for that, but those members of the military are going to get paid regardless of that. There's a broader problem here, which is there's supposed to be a process. Donald Trump has never gone in front of the American people, explained why we're engaged in this war, has not gone in front of Congress and gotten authorization for it. If you vote to fund it, then you support it. And I think what you'll find is there's a lot of politicians out there who want to be like, oh, I oppose this war, but I support our troops, so I'm going to vote for it. But the bottom line is, if you fund this operation, which I believe is illegal and I do not believe is in the best interest of the American people, then you support it.
Right, but we could all agree it would be better if America won this war than lost it, right?
What does winning actually look like, Leland? The administration hasn't identified that. How does this make the American people better and stronger?
How about that? How about this? We can all agree that the United States having to withdraw because we can't buy more bombs probably doesn't help us on the world stage, right?
No, it probably doesn't, but neither does Donald Trump starting it.
No.
Can I make my point?
Yeah.
Go. Listen, neither does Donald Trump starting a war without any allies after alienating the United States. If there was a legitimate...
no allies. We have Israel, we have the United Arab Emirates, we have the Omanis, we have the Qataris, we have the Saudis, we have the Jordanians. Should I keep going?
We have isolated ourselves from our traditional European allies. We've isolated ourselves from Canada because of the tariffs.
Because Canada, the UK, the French, and the Germans are all beholden to a massive Arab population, and they're worried about their own jihadi threats.
No, see, I don't think that's what it is, and I think that's a misunderstanding of the situation. Why would Europe go to bat for Donald Trump at a time when he continues to attack NATO, when just a few weeks ago he was trying to seize Greenland from Denmark? Why would they do that when he was trying to seize Greenland from Denmark, Leland? Like, come on, it was an embarrassing moment for the United States. Yes, he was. Like, don't whitewash that. That's what he was trying to do.
Okay, so you want to defund the troops. and make us lose, and at the same time keep TSA and DHS closed. John Fetterman, a Democrat from Pennsylvania, seems to think that's a bad idea. Take a listen.
I'm the only Democrat that refused to vote to shutting down the DHS. Now, if we would want to make some reforms at ICE, but we all know that would have no impact on ICE, at this point. That's another fail of not choosing our country over the party.
And you don't think choosing to defund the war is going to be choosing party over country?
Well, I would like to remind you that Republicans are in control of the House and the Senate, so they're free to legislate at any time. Democrats are the ones who are actively trying to end this shutdown right now. Mike Johnson isn't doing anything, to the point that today, Hakeem Jeffries introduced a discharge petition to fund DHS, but not ICE, to hold out for those reforms, get TSA back online, and the Republicans aren't advancing that legislation. So it isn't the Democrats that are holding this up, it's the Republicans.
The Democrats are the ones who celebrated doing it.
Republicans are the ones who are in control of Congress, Leland. They could legislate this right now, but this is the least effective Congress in history.
Well, that is a low bar
Leland,
for Congress, which we have to agree
Leland,
on.
if you need the votes, go compromise and work with your opposition. They're not even showing up to work.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our new.
Honestly, absolute dog walk. Absolute dog walk. I honestly don't even understand what the reason why Leland even chose to have Mike Nellis on the show, because he just absolutely educated him and dismantled every single talking point. There was literally no point in that conversation because Leland came out looking far worse than he did looking good. First and foremost, just a few points that I wanted to touch on from the conversation that took place. Look, just remember that I believe it was Donald Trump who said something along the lines of that Democrats have the presidency, Congress, and the House. Sorry, the presidency, the House, and the Senate. Donald Trump said that. So a shutdown can only be the president's fault. He said that. Republicans have that exact majority right now. So this BS that it is that Maga and Republicans and Maga mouthpieces like Leland try and do, it's absolute BS and it's pointless. Because the reality is this, exactly like Mike Nellis said, if you want to get things done, you have to compromise. Go across the aisle and you have to make some form of compromise with your fellow politicians. But they're choosing not to. What they're trying to do the political theater, trying to act and make out to the world, oh, it's Democrats that are doing all of the negative and all of the bad things. But it's not. That's just factually incorrect. But it's no surprise. This is what it is that MAGA and what Republicans do. Now, the major point I want to focus on, you heard what Leland said in regards to all the allies that it is that Donald Trump and the USA has. Okay, so then why are you then coming to Europe? Remember, the same Europe, NATO, UK, you've been slandering, the same NATO that it is that you was threatening to annex Greenland over. Why are you now coming to us and telling us and dictating to us what we should and what we should, that we should help you? Where was that energy when you were speaking so bad about us? The UK, Keir Starmer is doing the right thing and is massively supported even by people who don't like him in this country. But Donald Trump wants to continuously speak negative about him. But then what? You expect us to send our soldiers, young men and young women, to support a war you started? That's what you expect? BS? Europe aren't scared of the Muslim population. That's not what it is. That's not the reason why they're not sending people. That's why people like this Leland guy should not be hosting a news channel, because that's just a straight disinformation. Where did he get the fact or the opinion or the narrative that Europe don't want to send help because they're scared of their Muslim populations? The reason why Europe don't want to send help is very simple. Number one, Donald Trump started this war, not Iran. Number two, what is the objective of the war? That's the reason why when everyone says, what does winning look like? You never get an answer because we don't know what the objectives are. And number three, it's an illegal war. It's an illegal war. It is absolutely ridiculous that you will have the mainstream media in the United States, like Newsnation, that will go on and they will spew such nonsense talking points. And if you read the comments of this actual video, you will see the response, the comments. It's just MAGA. people that are just brain dead and don't think for themselves. It's absolutely embarrassing stuff. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this exchange in the comment section below. And while you guys are down there, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and also hype the video up, give it a thumbs up as well. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in the next clip.